Happy Lyme Disease Awareness Month. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on me and how I'm doing. It's been 2 weeks, a lot has happened. And then I want to talk about Lyme disease awareness. Updates on me. I can't talk about one update yet because I don't want to jinx anything, but to give you a hint, I have been wearing a lot of suits over the last 2 weeks. That are really fun to be putting back on because they all fit me because I've lost weight. Yay! So probably more about that next week, but some exciting things are happening around the area of life where one wears suits. The mold test for the house, I was wondering what the heck, why is it taking so long for the results to get back? I just got it back, returned to sender the other day, and we were looking at a week now. I want to kind of give you an update on how I'm feeling. For the first part of this year, I was pretty much laying all day long in my recliner, and it was a struggle for me to get up and go to the bathroom, get up and go to the kitchen and get something to eat. I was not able to drive myself because I was too dizzy. So I was unable to do things. I'm at the point now where I am able to choose, for the most part, when I want to do things. I can get up, I can cook, I can go to the store, I can drive myself. The dizziness has greatly improved, but I'm still uncomfortable and exhausted while I'm doing all of those things. So on the outside, it looks great because I'm up and I'm able to act like myself. I still don't feel well while I'm doing things though, but we are working toward remission and being symptom free. That's just where I am right now. Last part of my update about me, and it is a perfect segue into Lyme Disease Awareness Month. I'd like to show you a picture of a cute little friend that my husband pulled off of me a week and a half ago. Yes, so that's a tick. This was terrifying for a lot of reasons because I didn't know what it meant medically for me, and also because it was just disgusting. I woke up in the morning and I kind of felt an itch on my rib, and I went to scratch it and I felt like it almost felt like a skin tag, and I was like, what the heck is this? And then it dawned on me, oh gosh, and I just had this feeling of doom in my head because ticks to me represent everything that has made my life go straight to hell in the past few years. And I looked up and I saw a little bit of black, and I immediately woke Steve up and I was like, holy crap, I think that there's a tick on me. And he was like, yep, it's a tick. So he did what you're supposed to do. He got some very fine tweezers, and he went in right at the head and he moved it from side to side and pulled it out opposite of the direction that it was embedded in me. We put it in a freezer bag. This was on a Saturday. We put it in a bag in the freezer and waited until Monday so that I could talk to my doctor's office about what the heck this means. I went to my doctor because I'm already sick. I actually had a full-blown appointment on Monday. Since I'm already sick, she wanted me to get my tick tested. It was $40. It was a kit that you can buy. I'll actually link the information on how to get this test kit for $40. Postage already paid. You can order it online. I'll link that in the information below. She wants that tick to be tested to see what co-infections it might have and what Lyme it might have. So that test result should be back in another week to a week and a half. So I'm waiting to get that information. Now, if it does come back that it's positive for those things, it doesn't necessarily mean that it passed it to me. But even if it did, what my doctor had told me is that I'm already in a place where I'm tolerating antibiotics again. I have all the immune support medicine that I need. So she said, quite honestly, she's not worried. We're going to wait and see, do new symptoms appear or not. We're going to wait and see the test results for the tick. And also, she increased, I was already on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday antibiotic cycle. She went ahead and increased that dosage to, I'm taking antibiotics once a day for 14 days. So I'm 8 days into that now. That's strictly just for prevention. I'm not worried about it right now because I'm already taken so many steps for my body to be able to kind of coexist with these sort of organisms. Lyme disease awareness. All of the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today can be found on the ILADS website. ILADS is the governing body around Lyme. I can't believe I said Lyme's disease. That's a pet peeve of mine. Lyme disease and associated diseases. I'm going to link their website so you can go there after this and get all the information you need. But first off, a lot of times people will go out, like they're going to go out in the woods and they'll be like, man, like I didn't get bug spray. I'm getting so bitten up by mosquitoes. This is annoying. So just like you need to be preventative when it comes to spraying yourself with bug spray so you don't have itchy bites after being outside, even if you're just walking your dog, you also need to make sure that you're wearing some sort of tick preventative DEET, or you can go online and they actually have clothes that have been pre-treated in chemicals that will ward off ticks. We need to be just as vigilant, if not more vigilant. A mosquito bite is not as serious as all of the symptoms and things that are caused by tick-borne illnesses. So that's number one. Also, I see people all the time online saying, oh, I pulled 6 ticks off of me today. And it's kind of like this conversational, like, ooh, that's gross, ooh, that's disgusting. And I always wonder, do they know what they should be doing? I see people say, well, I never got the rash. So there's this bullseye rash that you can get around a tick bite that is a telltale sign of Lyme disease. There have been a lot of studies about this rash and a lot of different percentages that you're going to see. The one that I'm seeing most frequently is less than 50% of Lyme disease or chronic Lyme disease patients remember seeing a rash, or even remember getting bitten, or even know that they were bitten. That's why prevention is so important. But they don't remember seeing a rash. I have never seen a rash on me. Another thing, the rash is 100% tied to Lyme disease. But you have to remember that there are other co-infections, ehrlichiosis, babesia, Bartonella, rickets, Rocky Mountain spotted fever. All of these other things that you can get sick with similar symptoms from a tick, that is not going to give you that bullseye rash. So just because you don't see the rash doesn't mean that you should just kind of forget about it and put it in the back of your mind. Another thing, the length of time that the tick is actually on you, the amount, whether or not it's engorged with blood or it's completely flat, none of those things have any sort of bearing on whether or not it had the ability to infect you. So I think that sometimes people, it's what we hear, it's what we're told in the media. Oh, you don't have to worry about it. They can't infect you unless it's been on you for longer than a day. I think it makes people feel better to think those things, but we just need to be realistic about it. So we can have our mind open and recognize things that are happening, changes in our body, so we can take action if we need to. So what do you do if you get a tick bite? First of all, if you get the rash, you immediately need to go to the doctor and they'll immediately put you on antibiotics. You need to be on antibiotics for at least 3 weeks. And as we've talked about in other videos, the CDC only believes that Lyme disease can be treated for the length of 4 weeks. So after 4 weeks, if your symptoms still persist, it could mean that the antibiotics did not take care of the Lyme, or you also got some co-infections that doxycycline or other antibiotics that a primary care physician is likely to put you on cannot touch. And that's where you need to go and find a Lyme literate doctor in your area, someone who understands how Lyme clinically presents, someone who understands how to effectively read tests. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to a site that has a wonderful listing of Lyme literate doctors by zip code. If you get the rash, you get treated, you develop symptoms and they don't go away, you do not stop until it's over. Do not let a doctor tell you, well, no, you should be fine. Don't do that. No, we keep going until the symptoms are gone. Let's say you don't get the rash, but maybe in a few days, maybe in a week, you get some sort of weird infection that, fever, chills, flu-like, and maybe, it's not flu season in the spring and the summer. So, anything that is just a very big infection, that could be a sign that your body, your immune system is kind of giving way to allow this, whatever came from the tick, to flourish. So if you get a tick bite, you don't have a rash, but you have some sort of sign of infection soon after that tick bite, go to the doctor. Get tested. Again, if they're telling you, no, there's nothing wrong with you, this is in your head, you're fine, then you go to a Lyme literate doctor. It could be another thing. It could be a weird thing that you picked up at the mall. I don't know, but this is a way to remember. The goal, remember, is to catch this type of infection as early as possible before it develops into the chronic state and can really start tricking your immune system and hiding in all different parts of your body. Let's say you get bit by a tick, you don't have a rash, and then you go along living your wonderful life. This could mean a lot of things. This could mean that the tick that bit you wasn't infected. Yay! This could also mean that the tick that bit you was infected and it transmitted it to you, but your immune system is great. Your body has absolutely no problem keeping this at bay. But that's not always going to be the case, not necessarily. You could go through something in your life, either medically or emotionally, that could put a damper on your immune system's ability to keep whatever you got from the tick bite at bay, and you could start experiencing symptoms decades later. So it's important to know that if you at any point in your life find yourself in a position where you have a illness that doctors are having a hard time diagnosing, multiple body systems are involved, and you know that you got bit by a tick 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, or even if you don't know if you got bit by a tick, anything like that that is hard to diagnose can absolutely be Lyme disease or tick-borne illness. A lot of people have this in their bodies. They just never get sick. And then by the time they do get sick, people automatically will think, based on the symptoms that show up, this is chronic fatigue syndrome, this is Alzheimer's disease, this is multiple sclerosis, this is ALS. ADHD is another thing. You could have a completely neurological, psychological presentation, or all of a sudden you're in your 40s or 30s or whatever and you can't think anymore. If something huge happens to you, I would just get a second opinion. It's always good to get a second opinion, especially if the normal protocol of Western medicine is not working for you. So for those of you who have that tick bite with no rash and no immediate symptoms, just be hypervigilant about looking for odd things that are happening that aren't going away. And you don't have to be freaked out. You don't have to spend every moment of your day thinking about it, but just keep it in your mind as a possibility of, if something odd starts happening to me, could this be related to Lyme? If you haven't already, please subscribe. I put out new videos every Wednesday, and I look forward to updating you next week on what is going on. Wish me luck with all this suit wearing, and hope is a very powerful thing. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye.